can you describe heaven and hell from an Islamic view?
Mhm. So, of course, the hell which we do believe in, that it is, of course, fire and eternal burning. Now, some people may say, "Well, how is that God could torture a human being for eternally with fire like that?" Well, who's to say they're humans? In the next life, we'll be created as something different, which would be more conducive for an eternal burning like that. So that's how we answer atheists. And the Quran made this claim. So therefore, you can never argue that. Oh, look, for sure, human beings like you and me, there's something wrong about us being burned like that. Heaven is, of course, whatever you want. You can also have, the same type of normal sexual relations as you have with your wife. You'll have in the next life. There's no reason to ban that, and just basically you can have whatever you want. It's eternal bliss. It's happiness. It's what we should all be striving for.
Heaven's whatever I want. If I'm a Muslim going to heaven, I can. It's like a what's it called? Lucid dreaming almost, when you just create your own experience.
Well, it was see now that would be the question. What exactly would you want once you're dead and now you're in this new state? So it's gonna be a very good time. Let me just put it to you that way. I couldn't get into too much of the details. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the whole? There is a rumor that I think people outside of Islam have with the Islamic heaven about like this 70 virgins or something like that. You know what I'm
Mhm.
talking about?
Yeah. Well, they're
What is
just
that about? Like, I feel like that's a I'm not saying that's true, but I'm saying, like, I imagine we have a false understanding of what you guys mean when you say that.
right, right. So the issue here is, what if I were to tell you that, uh, you know, one day, you're gonna go to sleep now, and when you wake up, you're never gonna walk again. That's okay. You're gonna be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life, but it's okay. You're gonna enjoy it. Now, you would be like, "What the believe," you'd be like, "Fighting me," That's exactly the type of message you give to someone when you say your sexual desires and sexual relationships, you're not gonna have anymore because every human being has these sexual needs, and you're taking it away from people, and you're telling us this is your heaven. No, Islam corrects that misunderstanding. Now, of course, a man can have more than one wife. He can have more, and again, men like that they have more than one partner. That's not some kind of weird, bizarre thinking that only the Quran made up. Okay, no, no, it's been there in humans. So yeah, you could definitely have more than one partner in heaven. That's all that verse is telling us, and it's correcting the wrong understanding that thing which the sexual desires in us is all going to be gone. It's all going to be gone in the next life because there's something so wrong with it. You know.
Does the Quran allow you to have this is gonna be a very ignorant question, so forgive me. Does the Quran allow you to have more than one wife on earth?
Yeah, but there's a lot of misunderstanding about that. What people do, they get these wives and they stack them up like sardines in a house. Like I'm sure you've probably seen like, you know, documentaries on that, but that's not Islamic polygamy. In Islamic polygamy, you better have enough money to buy them each their own house. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, each of his wives had their own house, their own belongings, and so do you got that kind of money? I don't know, but I don't. That's I don't have more than one wife. So really, if you look at the institution, it's for the rich people, the wealthy people. They're the ones who should be doing it. Because I tell you what, also in Islam, having more than one wife could be a very big reason for that temporary hellfire. Because there is an authentic hadith where it said one of the reasons why people will be in hell is because they didn't do justice between their wives. So so this is very risky. You can have more than one wife, but you better be careful. You better do justice to them. You better get them their own house. Not that these kids are being deprived of school. They don't have health insurance, and here you are. So no, that doesn't work in Islam. You're gonna get that. Actually, people get punished for doing that.
Yeah, and is in Islam, can't you also if you're a man, you can marry outside of the religion, correct? But if you're a woman, you cannot. Is that accurate?
It's allowable, but it's not, recommended. However, people think like, "Okay, you can marry any old Jewish or Christian woman." That actually is not true. The Quran said the women who are the chaste from amongst them, the chaste women. That does not mean So the women we can exclude from that chastity is a woman you're meeting in the nightclubs that you're bumping and grinding upon, and then you're got a relationship with them, and then you're 3 months later, you're in the mosque asking them to get married. So those women are excluded from what the Quran is actually saying.